My beloved child, come close and listen with an open heart, for there is a truth I have been waiting for the right moment to reveal to you. You have walked through seasons that felt heavy, confusing, and burdened with endings you did not expect. There were days when you looked at what slipped from your hands and wondered why life seemed to be pulling you away from what once felt familiar and safe. And though you tried to keep moving, a quiet ache remained within you, whispering questions that no one around you could fully answer. But I, your father, have seen every step. I have watched every moment of your journey, including the ones that felt lonely and unclear. And today, I want to help you understand why you had to let go, why certain things could no longer remain, and why the path you left behind could not lead you into the future I have designed for you. There are times when I must guide you away from what is too small for the greatness I have placed within you. Not because what you had was bad, and not because you were unworthy of holding it, but because it was not built to hold the future I have prepared for you. What you left behind was a chapter that had completed its purpose. The weight you carried there, the lessons you learned, the moments that broke and shaped you, they were all part of your preparation, not your destination. You have felt the sting of release. You have felt the tension of watching doors close that you thought would lead somewhere meaningful. You have wondered why certain people walked away, why opportunities dissolved, why you could no longer fit into places that once felt natural. What precious one, I need you to understand something deeply. None of this was a punishment. None of it was abandonment. Every shift, every ending, every separation was guided by my wisdom, not by your failure. If you had remained where you were, you would have settled for a life far smaller than the one I have called you to live. The dreams you thought were the limit of your future were only the foundation of something far greater. Sometimes growth requires a holy disruption. Sometimes comfort must be disturbed so destiny can awaken. Sometimes you must be pulled away from the shore so you can learn to sail into deeper waters. And though it hurt, though it stretched you, though it caused you to question your own strength, you survived. You kept moving even when you did not understand where I was taking you. You endured nights when your heart felt heavy with memories of what once was. You carried the weight of the unknown, unsure if you would ever feel whole again. And yet, here you are, still breathing, still seeking, still reaching for me. My child, I want you to know this with absolute certainty. What's ahead of you is bigger than what you left behind. Not slightly bigger, not marginally brighter, but abundantly, overwhelmingly greater. You have not walked away from purpose, you have walked toward it. You have not lost your future, you have been repositioned for it. You have not stepped into emptiness, you are stepping into expansion. This message you are hearing now is the beginning of a revelation your heart has long needed. There are truths I will unfold, one layer at a time, that will help you understand not only why the past had to fade, but why the future is worth every tear, every sacrifice, every moment of courage. You are not entering a small season. You are entering one of divine rebuilding, divine elevation, and divine restoration. Listen closely, my precious one. Your story is not diminishing. It is unfolding. And the journey we are beginning in this message is meant to lift your spirit, steady your heart, and show you that you were never moving backward. You were being aligned with something far greater than you could see. Hold this truth gently. The best of your life is not behind you. It is rising ahead of you, waiting to be embraced. My beloved child, as you continue listening, let your heart rest in the truth that I have witnessed every moment of your journey, even the ones you never spoke aloud. You have carried weights that others could not see, burdens hidden beneath quiet smiles and polite nods. You have endured battles in the depths of your mind, wars inside your spirit, storms that raged when no one else was watching. And today, I want to speak to those silent struggles, because they matter to me more than you know. There were nights when you laid awake, staring into the darkness, wondering if anyone could truly understand the heaviness pressing against your chest. You wondered if your prayers had reached me, if your tears meant anything, if the pain you carried had any purpose at all. You questioned your strength, your value, your direction. You tried to reassure others while your own soul trembled beneath the weight of your untold fears. But hear me, precious one. Not a single sigh escaped your lips unnoticed. Not a single tear fell without catching my attention. You may have felt unseen by the world, but you were never invisible to me. I was with you in every moment of exhaustion, when you felt you could not take another step. I was with you in every quiet breakdown, when your heart whispered words you could not bear to speak out loud. I was with you when you were surrounded by people yet felt profoundly alone. I was with you when the pressure grew so heavy that you wondered if you would ever rise again. You see, my child, the world often fails to recognize the battles fought in silence. They applaud victories but overlook the valleys. They see smiles but miss the scars. But I, your father, saw everything. I saw the times you gave love even when your own heart was aching. I saw the moments you kept moving even when standing felt impossible. I saw how you fought to hold yourself together when everything around you seemed to fall apart. And because I saw it, I want you to understand this. Nothing you endured was wasted. Not the heartbreak, not the disappointment, not the confusion, not the waiting, not the struggle to stay hopeful when hope felt fragile. Every battle you faced was shaping you for what is ahead. Every tear watered the ground beneath your feet, preparing the soil for new beginnings. Every challenge strengthened the muscles of your spirit, refining you, stretching you, preparing you. There were situations you tried to fix, but no matter how hard you tried, they continued to break. There were relationships you tried to hold together even as they fell apart in your hands. There were seasons you desperately wanted to keep alive even after they had expired. And in the midst of those losses, you wondered if you were the problem, if you had failed, if you had somehow done something wrong. But precious one, I want you to hear me clearly. What fell away was not a reflection of your worth. What ended did not end because you were unlovable, inadequate, or undeserving. Some things had to leave because they could not travel into the future I am building for you. Some people could not walk with you because their presence would have limited the expansion of your destiny. Some chapters had to close because the story I am writing for your life required a new beginning. You survived what was meant to break you. You endured what others never knew you were carrying. You kept going even when your spirit was weary. And now, as you listen to these words, understand that you are no longer walking through those battles alone. You never were. But now, I am leading you into a season where the weight begins to lift, where the past loses its grip, where the heaviness begins to break off your spirit. This is not the time to shrink back or doubt yourself. You are stronger than you realize, braver than you give yourself credit for, and far more resilient than you once believed. The struggles you faced in silence have prepared you for blessings that will be revealed in the open. The pain you carry privately will be replaced by joy that will radiate publicly. The heaviness you endured in the shadows will give way to a dawn brighter than anything you've known. My beloved child, the battles of your past were not the end of your story. They were the shaping of it. And everything I saw, every burden, every scar, every silent cry, was preparing you for something far greater than the weight you carried. The future that awaits you is not built on your brokenness, but on your resilience, on your faith, and on my plans for you, which will not fail. My beloved child, as you continue listening, I want you to breathe for a moment and allow your heart to soften. For in this part of your journey, we step into a truth that many struggle to grasp, especially when the weight of life feels overwhelming. There have been moments when you looked at what you lost, relationships, opportunities, plans you once held close, and you wondered if you had anything left worth hoping for. You questioned whether what slipped through your fingers could ever be replaced. You wondered if the emptiness you felt was a sign that your best days were behind you. But listen closely, precious one. When you feel you have lost everything, that is often the moment I begin building something new. Not something small, not something ordinary, but something divine, crafted with intention, shaped with wisdom, and aligned with the deepest purpose inside you. There were times when you stood in the ruins of your expectations, looking around and feeling like life had taken more from you than it had given. You saw broken pieces and asked, "How can anything good come from this?" But while you saw pieces, I saw a blueprint. While you saw an ending, I saw a beginning. While you saw loss, I saw the clearing of ground so I could build in ways you were not yet ready to imagine. My child, you must understand something profound. I do not take from you to leave you empty. I remove what can't stay so I can make room for what must come. I separate you from what will limit you so I can align you with what will elevate you. I allow closures not to punish you, but to protect you from paths that could not lead to the future I've prepared for you. There were doors you begged me to open, not realizing that behind them were burdens you were never meant to carry. There were people you tried to hold on to, unaware that their presence would have weighed down the calling on your life. There were plans you built with your own hands, good plans, hopeful plans, but not the plans that match the fullness of my design for you. And though it hurt when they crumbled, it was only because I was making space for something far greater. There is a rebuilding happening in your life, even now. You may not see the full structure yet. You may only feel the shifting under your feet, the movement of things rearranging in unseen places. But do not confuse the feeling of uncertainty with the absence of purpose. I am working in the areas you cannot see. I am aligning opportunities, people, moments, and blessings that are timed perfectly for your arrival. And when it comes together, you will understand why nothing you lost was wasted. Stay with me here, beloved child, because what I am about to share has the power to change the way you see everything you've been through. You are closer to breakthrough than you realize. You are closer to restoration than you know. What feels like delay is often divine construction. What feels like silence is often preparation. What feels like loss is often redirection towards something better than what you asked for. And as you listen to these words, I want you to hold something important. Do not turn away now. What comes next in this message is the very revelation your spirit hath been crying out for. You are on the edge of understanding why the past had to shift, why certain chapters closed, and why I have been guiding you away from what you thought you needed. If these words have brought comfort to your spirit, bless this message with a like, so it can reach more souls who need the hope you are receiving right now. And share this with someone who is standing in their own season of letting go. They need to hear what you are hearing. My beloved child, listen closely because your story is not ending, it is restarting. The ashes you see are not signs of defeat. They are the foundation upon which I am building something new, something strong, something worthy of the purpose I placed within you. Do not measure your future by what you lost. What's ahead will not just replace what left, it will surpass it. And when the fullness of what I am constructing begins to unfold, every tear you cried will make sense. Every unanswered question will find its purpose. Every closed door will reveal its protection. I am building something new. And this time, nothing will be able to take it from you. My beloved, Hear me now. What I am building in your life is greater than what you have lost, and the same hands that are crafting your restoration are calling you to be a vessel for others. When you give, you sow into the harvest of souls that will receive hope, light, and the truth of my word. Just as I multiplied the loaves for thousands, I will multiply every seed you place into this mission. Look, my child, the rivers of blessing flow to those who move in obedience, your gift, through super thanks, membership, with a PayPal link in the video description, is not ordinary, it is prophetic. I am speaking life over every donation. It carries healing to the broken, wisdom to the lost, and provision to those in need. Your giving is oil for the lamps of my servants, lighting paths where darkness once reigned. You not delay, the timing is divine. As you act now, watch me open doors you cannot yet see, releasing favor and multiplication beyond measure. My voice calls you to participate, not out of obligation, but because your heart was made to partner with me in this work. Align with me, beloved one. Give, and let the harvest begin. Act immediately, for the hour is appointed. My beloved child, as you continue this sacred conversation with me, I want you to pause and breathe in the truth of how far you have already come. You may not see it clearly yet, but you have shown a strength that many do not recognize in themselves. You have walked away from things that once felt familiar. You have released what once felt secure. And though your heart trembled, you still chose to move forward. This is courage, quiet, uncelebrated, deeply spiritual courage. There are moments in your life when holding on feels easier than letting go. Familiarity can become a comfort, even when it no longer nurtures you. You would rather stay where you are than step into the unknown, because the unknown feels like darkness while the familiar feels like light, even if that light has grown dim. But my child, I never meant for you to shrink into spaces that no longer support your calling. I never intended for you to remain in places where your spirit has outgrown the walls surrounding it. Your relationships, environments, and seasons in your life that served a purpose. They helped shape who you became. They taught you lessons you needed. They carried you through chapters that required comfort, companionship, or connection. But some of those seasons reached a point where they no longer held the power to carry you into your future. And deep within, you felt the tension, the pull, the restlessness, the sense that something no longer aligned with who you were becoming. That feeling, precious one, was not confusion. It was guidance. It was my voice stirring your spirit, urging you to move towards something greater. For destiny does not stay in stagnant places. It breathes, evolves, grows, and expands. And when the environment around you cannot support the expansion inside you, I begin to nudge you toward the exit, not to harm you, but to lead you into the fullness of the life I designed for you. You may have feared disappointing others when you walked away. You may have feared being misunderstood. You may have feared stepping out with empty hands, unsure of what would meet you on the other side. But to choose purpose over comfort is one of the greatest acts of faith a soul can make. And you, my child, have done that. Even if your steps were shaky, even if your heart questioned, even if you cried afterward, you still move. And I honor that. Let me tell you a story, not from a far-off land or ancient text, but from the everyday journey of the human heart. Imagine a bird whose wings have grown strong. She was born in a small nest, high in the branches of a familiar tree. That nest kept her warm. It held her safely through storms. It sheltered her when the world felt too big and too wide. But as her wings grew, the nest began to feel tight. What once gave comfort now felt confining. He could no longer stretch, no longer rise, no longer grow in the place that once held her. Her moment comes, one gust of wind, one instinctive push, one trembling leap. She leaves the nest, not because it failed her, but because it fulfilled its purpose. My precious child, you are that bird. You were never meant to remain in places that no longer let your spirit breathe. And though stepping away may have felt like falling, you were meant to learn that you were made to fly. And now, hear me clearly, what you walked away from is not greater than what you are walking toward. The familiar may have felt safe, but it did not carry your destiny. The known may have felt comfortable, but it could not unlock your potential. What I am leading you into requires your hands to be free, your heart to be open, and your spirit to be willing. You cannot receive what I have prepared for you if you cling to what has already completed its assignment in your life. Do not look back with regret. Do not question whether you made the right choice. Do not allow nostalgia to paint the past as your only source of joy. You walked away because your destiny called your name. And you answered. There is more ahead, more growth, more clarity, more purpose, more love, more alignment. What is coming will not confine you. It will elevate you. It will not drain you. It will nourish you. It will not limit you. It will expand you. You showed courage in letting go, and that same courage will carry you into the fullness of everything I have prepared. My beloved child, as you take in these words, I want you to let your heart settle into a place of honesty. For healing does not begin in the parts of you that pretend to be strong. Healing begins where you allow yourself to be seen, truly seen, in the places where you have been hurting the most. And I, your Father, have seen every fracture in your spirit, every wound you tried to hide from the world, and even the ones you tried to hide from yourself. You have walked through experiences that shook you deeply. Some wounds carried no visible scars, yet they shaped the way you moved through life. There were moments that left your heart feeling shattered, words that cut deeper than anyone realized, rejections that made you question your worth, betrayals that left you struggling to trust again. You carried memories you did not know how to release and disappointments you felt ashamed to speak aloud. But today, I want to tell you something tender, gentle, and profoundly true. I have never turned my face away from your pain. There are pieces of your story that still weigh heavily inside you, memories that rise without warning, emotions that return in waves when you least expect them. The world may have told you to get over it, to be strong, to move on, to pretend it never affected you. But I, your Creator, speak differently. I know the depth of what you carry. I know the nights those memories stole your peace. I know the way your heart cracked in silence while others believed you were doing fine. My precious child, you have carried too much for too long. And now, I am inviting you into a season of healing. Not temporary relief, not surface-level recovery, but true healing. The kind that reaches into the innermost parts of your spirit and restores what you believed was lost forever. Healing is not simply the removal of pain. It is the restoration of identity. It is the uncovering of your worth that was buried under the weight of past wounds. It is the return of joy that was stolen. It is the rebuilding of trust that was broken. It is the quiet mending of pieces you thought would never fit together again. You may wonder why healing takes time, why certain hurts linger longer than others, why some days feel lighter and others suddenly heavy again. But beloved, healing is not a straight line. It is a sacred journey, one in which I walk with you step by step, layer by layer, breath by breath. You are not expected to heal yourself. You were never meant to do this alone. I am the one who restores, the one who revives, the one who renews what life attempted to destroy. Let me speak tenderly to the parts of you that still ache, to the part of you that fears being abandoned again, I will never leave you. To the part of you that feels unworthy of love, you are treasured beyond measure. To the part of you that carries shame from past mistakes, I forgave you long before you learned how to forgive yourself. To the part of you that feels broken, there is nothing broken in you that I cannot make whole. Some of your pain has roots that run deep, tracing back to childhood wounds, unmet needs, words spoken over you long ago. Those early fractures shaped the way you saw yourself, the way you made decisions, the way you loved and trusted. And though you grew older, those winds grew with you. But hear me clearly, the little child within you, the one who felt overlooked, unseen, unprotected. I am healing that child too. I am bringing comfort to the deepest layers of your soul. You may not feel the shift immediately. Healing can be quiet at first. It may feel like small moments of clarity, brief breaths of peace, sudden releases of old emotions. But slowly, steadily, gently, I am stitching together what was torn. Your heart is not too damaged to love again. Your spirit is not too weary to rise again. Your hope is not too fragile to be restored. And my beloved child, healing is not only about recovery, it is about making space. Space for new joy, new relationships, new purpose, new life. The pain you carried created cracks, and through those cracks, light is now entering. You are becoming more whole, more open, more aligned with who you were always meant to be. What's ahead requires a healed heart, not a guarded one. A renewed spirit, not a wounded one. And that is what I am doing within you now. You are not too broken to be rebuilt. You are not too damaged to be restored. You are not too far gone to be made whole again. You are in the process of becoming stronger, softer, wiser, freer. And I am with you in every moment of that becoming. My beloved child, as you come into this moment with me, I want you to sense the shift that is happening within your spirit. Everything you have walked through, everything you have endured, everything that has been stripped away or reshaped, none of it has been without purpose. You are approaching a threshold, a divine turning, where what I have prepared for you will begin to unfold in ways that will leave you in awe. You may not yet see it with your eyes, but your spirit can already feel the stirring. Something greater is rising, something larger than the pain you walked through, something more beautiful than the chapters you had to leave behind. My child, you have been faithful in storms that should have broken you. You remained open-hearted even when disappointment made you want to close yourself off. You chose hope even when fear tried to suffocate your dreams. You kept moving forward even when the road felt dark. These quiet acts of courage did not go unnoticed. They became seeds, seeds that are now beginning to sprout, even if the growth is still hidden beneath the soil. There are blessings forming in places you cannot yet see. Doors are being prepared that you have not yet approached. Opportunities are aligning behind the scenes, woven with precision and care. Conversations are being planned, encounters are being arranged, and favor is being positioned in your path. Everything I am preparing for you will arrive in perfect timing, in perfect measure, and in perfect harmony with the destiny I placed within you. Precious one, I want you to listen closely now, because what I am about to reveal carries weight. You are stepping into a season where your life will not look like your past. Not at all. The sorrow that once overshadowed you will no longer define you. The limitations that once held you back will break apart beneath the magnitude of what I am bringing. The blessings ahead are not merely answers to your prayers. They are exceedingly, abundantly beyond anything you dared to imagine. But here is a truth I need you to grasp. You are being prepared for expansion. What lies ahead is bigger, wider, deeper, and more abundant than anything your past could have held. That is why certain chapters had to close. That is why certain relationships could not remain. That is why certain opportunities faded. The space you once filled needed to be freed so that something greater could take root. There is divine acceleration coming to your life. What once took years will begin to shift in moments. What once required struggle will unfold with ease. The blessings ahead will not come as a slow trickle. They will come as a flood, washing over every dry place within you. You will feel the weight of my goodness in ways you have never experienced before, and it will humble you, overwhelm you, and fill you with gratitude. Beloved child, do not step away now. What comes next in this message carries a deeper revelation you were meant to receive. This journey is not meant to be paused or cut short. You are in a divine appointment, and I want you to stay until the very last word, because the fullness of what I am saying will awaken hope, clarity, and courage within you. And if these words are lifting your spirit, bless this message with a like so it may reach others who need to hear the promise you are hearing. Share it with someone whose heart is weary, someone who needs to know that their story is not ending but transforming. You are stepping into a season where blessings will meet you unexpectedly, on ordinary days, in ordinary moments, through ordinary interactions. You will look back and wonder how everything changed so quickly, how everything aligned so perfectly. But you will know, it was my hand all along. You will say, only God could have done this. And you will be right. All that you lost, all that you released, all that slipped through your fingers, it was never the end. It was the clearing of space for the abundance I have always planned for you. You have not been drifting. You have been guided. You have not been overlooked. You have been positioned. You have not been forgotten. You have been chosen for something greater than you have yet imagined. My beloved child, lift your eyes, open your heart, and prepare your spirit. For what is coming will not just satisfy you, it will transform you. It will expand you. It will restore what was broken and amplify what remained. What's ahead is bigger than what you left behind, and soon you will see it with your own eyes. My beloved child, as you continue listening, allow these words to settle deep within you, for this moment marks the beginning of a new chapter in your journey. You are stepping into unfamiliar ground, territory that feels vast, uncharted, and at times even overwhelming. You may feel the trembling in your spirit, not because you are weak, but because you are expanding. You are moving into places your heart has never walked before, and it is natural to feel a mix of excitement and uncertainty. But hear me, you are not stepping into this new territory alone. I have already gone before you. There are paths being cleared for you even now. Roads you cannot yet see are being prepared with precision and intention. Every step you take into this new season is guided by my hand, even when the way seems unclear. You have been asking me, will I make it? Will I know where to go? Will I have what it takes? And my answer, spoken with unwavering certainty, is yes. You will make it, because I am leading you. You will know where to go, because I am directing your steps. You will have what it takes, because everything you need is found in me. This new territory may feel unfamiliar, but it has been familiar to me since the beginning of your story. Long before you stood here, I walked ahead of you, marking the land, preparing the blessing, aligning the opportunities. I placed strength where you will need strength. I positioned favor where you will require favor. I arranged connections, resources, and moments that will unfold exactly when you need them. Nothing about this new season is random. Nothing is accidental. Everything is ordained. Sometimes the unknown feels frightening because you are stepping away from what was predictable. You were used to the scenery of your past, even if it no longer nourished your spirit. You were used to a certain pattern, certain environments, certain rhythms of even the difficult one. But the familiar is not always supportive of your destiny. And so I have led you out of those places, not to strip you of comfort, but to surround you with possibility. Think of a traveler standing at the edge of a land they have never explored. The trees are different. The air feels lighter. The horizon stretches wider. Every sound is new, every sight unfamiliar. At first they hesitate, but then something within them awakens, a sense of openness, of curiosity, of anticipation for what lies ahead. A traveler is you, my precious one. You are being invited into a land of promise, growth, and expansion. The terrain is new, yes, but it is fertile, and you are ready for it, even if you doubt yourself. Do you remember times in your past when you stepped into something new and feared you wouldn't be able to handle it? Do you remember how, even then, I carried you? How I made a way? How I opened doors, provided resources, surrounded you with exactly what you needed? If I was faithful then, why would I be anything less now? You see, stepping into new territory is not just about entering a new season. It is about entering a new version of yourself. A version that is stronger. A version that is wiser. A version that is more aligned with who I created you to be. The old version of you could not have walked into this land. They were too burdened, too wounded, too tied to what was behind them. But you, the evolving, healing, rising you are ready. I want you to picture this moment like crossing a river. Behind you lies the shore of what once was. Before you is the land of what will be. The water between the two represents transition, the unknown, the vulnerable, the shifting. And yet, with every step, the water parts. Not because of your strength, but because of my presence. I am the one who goes before you. I am the one who makes a path where there was no path. I am the one who ensures that what was meant to drown you instead becomes the doorway to your destiny. My beloved child, do not be afraid of this new place. Do not shrink back. Do not question whether you belong here. You do. I have prepared this land for you, and I have prepared you for this land. What once intimidated you will soon feel natural. What once overwhelmed you will soon become familiar. What once felt too big will soon fit you perfectly, because you are growing into the fullness of your calling. Lift your head. Straighten your shoulders. Take a deep breath. You are standing on the threshold of promise, and I am walking beside you, step by step, into everything I have prepared. The new territory awaits, and you are ready for it. My beloved child, as you move deeper into this journey with me, I want you to feel the widening of your spirit, the stretching of your capacity, the quiet but undeniable stirring happening within you. You have walked from what was familiar into the unknown, and now you are entering a season of expansion. Expansion not only around you, but within you. What I am bringing into your life is not small, not partial, not tentative. It is abundant. It is full. It is overflowing with purpose and meaning. There are times in your life when you felt limited, boxed in by circumstances, restricted by your past, or held back by your own fears. You wondered if this was all there was, if life would continue in the same patterns, the same cycles, the same struggles. But my child, you were never meant to remain confined. I created you with a destiny that requires space to grow, room to breathe, and pathways wide enough to carry the fullness of who you are becoming. The expansion you are stepping into is not accidental. It is the result of everything you have endured, everything you have released, and everything you have opened yourself to. You had to walk through seasons of pruning so you could enter seasons of growth. You had to let go of what was too small so you could receive what is perfectly fitted for your future. The stretching you feel is not discomfort to fear. It is the preparation necessary for the magnitude of what is ahead. I want you to imagine a seed planted deep within the earth. For a long time, it is hidden. It is unseen. It is surrounded by darkness. But beneath the surface, something powerful is happening. The seed is breaking open. Roots are spreading. Strife is forming. And then, at the appointed time, when the foundation is strong enough, the seed breaks through the soil and rises into the light. What once was small becomes something vast, something vibrant, something flourishing. You, my beloved child, are that seed. The years you spent in hidden places were not years of stagnation. They were years of preparation. The moments when nothing seemed to change were the very moments when your roots were growing deeper. Every struggle strengthened your foundation. Every loss created room within you. Every tear watered your future. Now, the breaking forth has begun. You may feel it already, a sense that your dreams are awakening again, that your hope is rising, that your spirit is stretching beyond old limitations. This is expansion. This is the unfolding of purpose. This is the calling I placed within you coming alive in a new way. There will be opportunities in this season that scare you with their size. Not because they are wrong for you, but because they are finally right. They match the weight of your potential. They align with the depth of your purpose. They resonate with the greatness I placed inside you long before you knew who you would become. There will be people who enter your life who elevate you, inspire you, and call you higher. They will not drain your spirit. They will strengthen it. They will not pull you backward. They will walk beside you as you rise. These connections are part of your expansion, handpicked and divinely aligned. There will be moments when doors open without explanation, doors you thought were closed forever, doors you never imagined would swing wide for someone like you. But when they open, you will know that it was my hand, not chance, that turned the handle. Expansion, my child, requires courage. It requires stepping into spaces where you may feel unqualified. It requires embracing opportunities that make you question whether you belong. But I want you to hear this clearly. You are not stepping into this season based on your qualifications. You are stepping into it based on my calling. And when I call someone higher, I equip them fully. You will not walk into this expansion empty-handed. You will walk in with wisdom born from your past, strength forged through adversity, compassion deepened by your own wounds, and faith refined through every season you survive it. Nothing was wasted. Everything has prepared you for this moment. What is ahead will stretch you in the best ways. It will pull out gifts you didn't know you had. It will reveal talents you forgot existed. It will awaken dreams you buried because they once felt too impossible. You will look at your life and realize that this expansion is not just external. It is internal. It is the widening of who you are, the deepening of who you are becoming, the rising of the person I always intended you to be. My beloved child, step boldly. Step with confidence. Step with faith. The expansion of your life, purpose, and calling is here, and you are ready to walk fully into it. My beloved child, you have been walking faithfully through seasons that have tested you, shaped you, stretched you, and prepared you in ways you may not fully understand yet. But now, as you continue listening, I want you to feel the atmosphere around your spirit shifting. You are approaching the moment where everything begins to turn. The long nights are giving way to the dawn. The prayers you whispered through tears are rising into sight. The promises I made to you, those you held onto with trembling hands, are stepping out of the unseen and becoming reality. There comes a point in every journey where what was planted begins to break through the surface. It does not happen all at once, but it happens suddenly. Quietly at first, then unmistakably. That is where you are now, on the threshold of suddenly. You may not realize how close you are to breakthrough, because your preparation was done in hidden places. But I, your Father, have been orchestrating the timing of your life with precision. Not one moment hath been wasted. Not one delay hath been accidental. Every pause hath been purposeful. And now, everything is aligning for the moment when your story shifts. You have endured seasons where progress felt slow, where doors remained closed, where answers seemed distant. You questioned whether anything was moving at all. You wondered if the promises spoken over your life were still active. But child, what felt like stillness was actually divine coordination. When you waited, I was working. While you were unsure, I was establishing foundations. While you felt forgotten, I was preparing something too great to be rushed. Now the ground beneath your feet is beginning to move. You may not see the full picture yet, but the tremors of change have already begun. Opportunities that once seemed impossible will begin to surface. Connections you never expected will appear at the exact moment they are needed. What felt stagnant will begin to flow with surprising ease. What once resisted you will now open before you. This is the turning. This is where my promises begin to unfold, not just in word, but in experience. I want you to understand something very important. When I fulfill a promise, it is never halfway. I do not bring you into a season of increase only to leave you lacking. I do not lead you into a chapter of blessing only to close the book prematurely. When I turn things in your favor, I turn them completely. The restoration I bring will not be partial, it will be full. The joy that returns will not be momentary, it will be deep. The opportunities ahead will not be fragile, they will be established on the foundation of everything you have endured. Think back to the moments you survived, the ones that nearly broke you. Think of the times you kept walking even when you could barely stand. Think of the days you prayed for strength just to make it through. Those moments were not signs of weakness. They were the evidence of your endurance. And because you endured, you are now stepping into the reward of endurance. My precious child, there will come a day, and it is nearer than you know, when you will look at your life and say, "This is what I prayed for. This is what I waited for. This is what I hoped for when nothing made sense. This is the turning I dreamed of." You will stand on the other side of pain and see purpose. You will stand on the other side of loss and see restoration. You will stand on the other side of confusion and see clarity. You will stand on the other side of silence and hear the echo of fulfillment. My promises do not fade with time, they ripen. And when they ripen, they arrive not as fragments, but as fullness. You are entering a season where breakthroughs will find you unexpectedly, where blessings will unfold without your striving, where answers will come with divine speed, where what once opposed you will pave the way for you instead, not because of your strength, but because of my faithfulness. Understand this. The turning is not something you must force. It is something you must receive. You do not have to push doors open. I will open them. You do not have to manipulate outcomes. I am aligning them. You do not have to fear missing your promise. What I have written for you cannot be taken, delayed, or altered by anyone. My beloved child, stand steady. Lift your eyes. Prepare your heart. For the moment everything turns is closer than you think. And when it comes, you will know beyond all doubt that my hand has been upon your life the entire time. My beloved child, as you arrive at this final moment in our journey together, I want you to breathe deeply and allow the truth of everything you have heard to settle in your spirit. You have walked through memories, through pain, through questions, through healing, through release, through hope, and through elation. You have stood at the edge of your past and taken steps toward a future that once felt distant. And now, as you stand here with me, I want you to hear this final truth with the fullness of your heart. You have not seen anything yet. The best is still ahead of you. There are chapters of your life that have closed, chapters you once held tightly. Some of them ended painfully, others quietly, and some without the closure you hoped for. But I have carried you through every ending, not to leave you wandering, but to lead you toward beginnings that far surpass anything you lost. Your story is not winding down. It is rising, is unfolding into a level of purpose, strength, joy, and fulfillment that your past could never have created on its own. I want you to picture your life like a sunrise. When the first light appears, it is gentle, barely breaking the darkness. It arrives quietly, slowly, almost unnoticed. But as the moments pass, the sky begins to glow brighter. Colors begin to stretch across the horizon. What was once hidden becomes visible. What was once shadowed becomes illuminated. This, my child, is what is happening in your life right now. The light has only just begun to rise. What you see now is only a fraction of what is coming. You may feel the shift inside you, a mixture of anticipation and uncertainty. That feeling is the awakening of hope. Hope that once felt faint but is now growing stronger. Hope that once struggled to survive but is now standing tall. Hope that once whispered quietly but is now speaking with confidence. This hope is not built on wishful thinking. It is built on my faithfulness. It is anchored in my promises. It is rooted in the truth that I have plans for your life that are far greater than what you have known. The future I am leading you into is not a slight improvement of your past. It is not a small upgrade. It is a transformation. There are blessings ahead that will surprise you with their depth. There are opportunities ahead that will widen your world. There are relationships ahead that will uplift, strengthen, and support you. There is joy ahead that will make your past tears seem distant. There is purpose ahead that will give meaning to every step you have taken. You will look back one day and see how every hurt was healing you, how every loss was redirecting you, how every delay was preparing you, how every disappointment was reshaping you. And you will say, I see it now. I see why things had to change. I see why certain doors close. I see why I had to walk through the valleys. Because without those moments, you would not be ready for the heights I am taking you to. My beloved child, you are entering a season of fulfillment. Not the fulfillment of small wants, but the fulfillment of deep desires that have lived in your spirit for years. The fulfillment of prayers you prayed when no one was watching. The fulfillment of promises whispered into your heart long before you believed they were possible. I'm bringing you into alignment with everything I designed you for. Do not fear what lies ahead. Do not doubt your readiness. Do not shrink back into old versions of yourself. You have grown. You have matured. You have healed. You have been prepared. You are ready to carry the greatness I am placing in your life. And hear me clearly, what you left behind cannot compare to what is coming. The chapter ahead of you will be marked by abundance, peace, clarity, love, purpose, and divine alignment. The blessings I have prepared are not temporary. They are lasting. They are not fragile. They are fortified. They are not random. They are intentional. Lift your head, my precious one. Straighten your heart. Let your spirit be filled with expectation. You have walked through the fire and emerged refined. You have weathered storms and come out stronger. You have survived endings, and now you are standing at the dawn of a new beginning. The best is not behind you, it is before you. And as you walk forward from this moment, carry this truth like a fire inside your chest. You have not seen anything yet. What I am bringing will exceed your hopes, expand your vision, and fulfill your purpose. I am with you. I am for you. And I am leading you into the very life you were created to live. Amen. Beloved child, the story I am unfolding before you is larger than what you can imagine, and now I am inviting you to step into your role in this divine movement. Every contribution you make, through super thanks, membership, or the PayPal link in the description, is a seed that carries my word into lives that are starving for hope. I am calling you to be a channel, a river of my blessing, a fire that lights the hearts of the weary. Just as I parted seas and opened heavens, I will multiply your faith-filled giving to release miracles. Do not underestimate the power of this moment. Your gift activates my promises. I declare now, those who give with love, intention, and obedience will see walls crumble, doors open, and favor fall like manna from heaven. The abundance you pour into this mission will return to you, pressed down, shaken, and overflowing. Hear me, beloved, your participation is essential to the unfolding of my purpose. Do not wait. The harvest is ready, and the fields are white for gathering. Give now, and partner with me in bringing my kingdom to earth. Step forward and act, for I am with you, and I will honor your obedience.